A new fault line is emerging in West Asia. From the skies of Turkey to the battlefield in Syria, Ankara and Israel are watching each other closely as rivalries between Netanyahu and Erdogan grow deeper. Now Turkey has a new weapon that could alter the balance: hypersonic missiles. The next report tells you more.
For years, Israel's biggest strategic threats came from Iran and armed groups around its borders. Now, another military power is entering the equation: Turkey. Ankara is developing a new generation of long-range missiles, and one of them is raising eyebrows in Israel. The Tayfun Block 4. Turkish reports say the missile can travel around 1,500 kilometers and reach speeds above Mach 5.5. At that range, the entire territory of Israel could theoretically fall within its reach. It weighs approximately 7.2 tons. The missile uses solid composite fuel and is engineered for quick deployment via high-mobility tactical truck launchers, but the missile itself is only half the story. The real shift is happening on the ground. Look north from Israel and you reach Syria. Go further north and you reach Turkey. That corridor is rapidly becoming the center of a new strategic contest. Israel has expanded its military presence in southern Syria. Turkey already has a major military footprint in northern Syria and is deepening cooperation with Damascus. Then came the explosion that changed the equation. On the 18th of August, Israeli aircraft struck the Abu al-Duhur air base in northern Syria, roughly 45 miles from the Turkish border. Israel said it was acting to prevent a Turkish military buildup. Ankara rejected the accusation. Turkish officials said there was no Turkish military presence at the base and accused Israel of using the claim to justify strikes inside Syria. The danger is obvious. A Turkish military deployment in Syria could bring Ankara's forces much closer to Israel. Israeli aircraft operating over Syria could then come into increasing proximity with Turkish forces. One mistake could trigger a confrontation that neither side planned. And this is happening while the political temperature is rising. Turkey has moved against Netanyahu diplomatically, seeking an Interpol red notice linked to its prosecution over the Gaza flotilla case. Netanyahu has responded by portraying Erdogan and Turkey as a growing threat. The timing matters.
We will not tolerate Turkish military presence establishing itself as it moves south. It threatens us. We conveyed that clearly. Now we saw that Turkey intends to establish presence in the airport southern to its lines and close to Aleppo. So we conveyed a message. How would I define the message for you?
Israel's elections are approaching. Some American officials have questioned whether the Syria confrontation is also being shaped by Israeli domestic politics. One American envoy even suggested the Syria strike could have risked provoking a wider conflict with Turkey. But there's another twist. The United States is closely tied to both countries. When it comes to military power, Turkey versus Israel is a classic contrast between conventional scale and technological warfare. Turkey ranks 9th globally in the 2026 Global Firepower Index, with major strengths in manpower, armor, artillery, drones, naval power and strategic depth. Israel ranks 15th, but relies on advanced air power, F-35 stealth fighters, layered missile defense, elite intelligence, electronic warfare and nuclear deterrence. Turkey is a NATO member. Israel is a major US security partner. So this is not simply an Israel-Turkey rivalry. It is a collision unfolding inside a wider Western security network. And that is why the Tayfun matters, not because war is inevitable, but because Ankara is acquiring the ability to reach much farther, while Syria is becoming the place where Turkish and Israeli military interests could collide. The missile is new, the strategic rivalry is even bigger, and West Asia is watching where the next red line will be drawn.